Hey, what's up, guys? This is Johnny here, and today I'm going to be telling you how to clone yourself using After Effects. Before we get started, I thought it was just good to mention that if you're going to be doing this when you film, you want to try and find a location where there's decent lighting and where you preferably don't have any shadows cast in the background. So, as you can see, there's not much in the way of shadows cast by my me's here in the image. So, that's the main thing, and let's get started. Okay, and I'm real quick going to play this clip here so you can kind of see what the finished result will be. So, and also there's no sound with this right now, but it's just basically me standing there talking to myself. So, okay, I'm gonna stop that. So, first off, real quick, just so we're all on the same page, go to Workspace, Window, Workspace, and you'll see that I've got it set to standard. But just in case you've got any windows different, just hit Reset Standard. It says, are you sure you want to do that? Just hit yes. Everything is normal like it should be. Except for whatever reason, I don't have my effects panel over here. I'm going to real quick get that back out. Controls. Okay. So, now first thing we're going to do is we're going to start a new composition. I'm doing this in 1280 by 720, 30 frames per second, and I'm going to call this composition Attack of the Me's. I don't know how you spell Me's. Attack of the Me. That works better. Okay, and the duration is set to 10 seconds. So, okay. Attack of the Me. There we go. That is our composition right down here. And now I'm going to import my footage. So I'm going to double click in here, or you can hit Control I to import your footage. There's my footage. I'm going to go in that. And I'm going to double click on this, and I'm real quick going to go through here to, let's say right there. I'm going to set the endpoint, and then I'm going to go over a little further. Let's see, it's a little bit too far. Right there. And I'm going to then drag this down into my composition. You'll see it's kind of zoomed in, and that's because this was filmed in 1920 by 1080, and we're working in 720. So I'm going to go click back on this, though, and I'm going to get the footage for the other me. So let's see here. How about right there? And by the way, if you've got a clip further on the left side of the timeline here, you kind of have to hit the out point. I'm pointing at the screen, this doesn't help. You have to hit the out point here first, and then hit the end point where you want your end point to be, because for whatever reason, if you say I do this or something like that, and then I come over here and hit the end point, nothing happens. It just goes back to the out point. So you have to hit your out point where you want your end point first. And let's see, probably right there is good. So I'm going to take that and bring it back down here and click on the timeline. Now I'm going to shift click both these down here, and I'm going to hit S, which is scale. And I'm going to scale it down to, type in 67, so that makes it full, so everything is within the confines of the box. Everything is now fitting the screen perfectly. And you can just, double click on these and minimize them. And if you want to know how to get to scale, you just click over here, and there's transform options, and then you go down to scale. So, I'm going to close that back up. Okay, so now we've got the composition here. You only see one me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this layer, and then I'm going to hit G. G is the pen tool, which you see up here in the corner here. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a mask. So be sure to click on the layer here too on the actual image, because for whatever reason, every time I click outside the box, it creates a shape instead of a mask. So just click a few points, click outside here. Oops, I zoomed in a little bit. And then click here and connect it. So now that we've connected it, we've made a full mask. So now, as you can see, there's two of me. And if you look down here, though, it's not complete. We kind of have a let's see, sort of a line here that's kind of showing the difference in just color and everything like that, color and luminance and everything. So we're gonna try and blend that together so that it looks more natural. So what we're gonna do is we're going to go down here to this clip, the first clip, the top clip, where we have our mask, and I'm going to hit F, or you can access this same way we almost access the scale thing. Just click on the arrow and go to mask, and then mask feather, and we're going to feather the edge to about, I'd say, 50 pixels. And what that does is that blends the edges of the layer so that now it's kind of seamless. You don't really see that difference in color or luminance or anything like that. So now they're both standing there, and you can kind of just real quick see they're just kind of standing there, nothing's happening. There's changes on both sides, but yet again, like I said, there's no harsh shadows or anything like that to conflict with either bits of footage. There are little flowers and stuff that move in the wind, but even they don't conflict at all, really. So it's pretty nice, pretty easy. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to real quick just go ahead and add an adjustment layer. By the way, we're basically done at this point. Gonna actually go ahead and trim my comp to that. So okay, so now I've got the full length of footage and it doesn't just cut out halfway. So now what we're going to do is on our adjustment layer, which you go to by new and adjustment layer by right clicking. We're going to click on the adjustment layer, go to effects controls, and over here I've got, you see under color correction, I've got levels, and I'm going to just use that. A lot of people prefer to use curves. I really like levels. So anyway, I'm just going to real quick increase my black level here. So got some darker blacks and stuff like that. Certain places it adds a little bit of contrast to the image, I think. And let's see, probably bring down the red level a little bit. Yeah, I'll go to 90, go to green, bring down the green a little bit. Makes the blue stand out a little bit more. Makes it look cool. Makes it kind of sci-fi looking. Okay, so now that we've got that, just, close that down. And if you want to, you can go ahead and pre-render the sequence, and it's going to load here. You can see the little green bar at the bottom. Depending on how complex your composition is, this might be the time to go and run get a snack, because sometimes this can take forever to load, especially if you got a really slow computer too. It's almost done, and okay. So now it's just playing through, all the way through. You can see no problems with the lines or anything. It's working pretty good. You do see that this area changes over here when it restarts, but for the most part, it still works pretty good. Another important thing to add is that when I did this, I had the tripod locked down, and so if you want any kind of like camera shakiness from like being handheld, I will show you how to do that right now. So go to back to project, and on the thing up here, click new composition, and we're going to call this Shake Cam because it sounds cool. Not really, it's actually a terrible name. And we're going to click the Attack of Me layer, drag it down here, and now we see that composition already ready to go, able to play right here in our little file. I'm going to trim the work area down again. And what we're going to do is we're going to click here, click transform, and you're going to see position here. Now, position does this kind of stuff. It moves the actual file around. Let's reset that 640 by 360. Okay, so what we're going to do here to add that camera shake is we're going to first go to scale it up to about 103. You can see that the edges are just outside the actual window. And what we're going to do is we're going to hold Alt and click on the little clock beside position. Now that comes up with this weird little thing here. Everything's in red and it says this. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on transform position. And we're going to then type in wiggle, if I could spell right. And then we're going to hit parentheses, and I'm going to just type in 0.5 comma, let's see, how about 15, end parentheses. Now don't hit enter. I keep making this mistake. I do it every single time. Do not hit enter, just click off, and then at this point you should have a camera shake added. So go ahead, click the RAM preview button and just let it run through, and now you'll have a bit of shake to it. It might be a little bit too much, who knows. Just play around with the numbers in that parentheses area and you'll probably get something you like. So just a second here, let's see. I probably should cut this, but I'm not going to. Okay, so now you can see it's kind of moving around. It's got a handheld look to it. And so that's pretty much it. That is how you create a clone of yourself in After Effects. Very simple way. There are different things you can do with clones and stuff like that, and there's things that can be more complex. The only other bit of advice I have is just to really, keep yourselves or whoever separated from each other and stuff like that. Don't wave your arms a lot, because sometimes that can conflict. It's just a learning experience and you have to try it out. But for the most part, just use the mask tool and feather the edges and you'll be done. So thank you for watching, and tune in for more videos soon. Bye. Okay, real quick guys, I forgot to mention this before. I completely forgot to import a sequence into Premiere. I'll real quick show you how to do that, because I forgot to even show you how to render it or anything. But instead of rendering it, we're going to just do the Adobe Dynamic Link, and we're going to get the file that way. So first off, I'm going to real quick, let's see, I'll just, go to File, Adobe Dynamic Link, and import After Effects Composition. And let's see here, go to your file location, let's see, clones, and then clone tutorial. And you're going to want to take whichever it is, whichever composition you last worked on that you last saved. And if you have the saved one, you just have it there. It's ready to go. And you can just drop it on the timeline, like so. And that's it. So there you go, and you just render it out like you would any other sequence in Premiere. So now, thank you for tuning in, and don't forget to check back for more videos. Thank you.